selfies because I thought I was going to die. I had a constant fear of dying, and this fear that my daughter would not know who her father was, that she would never remember me.
Welcome to Black and Blue, the podcast that's just for you. We bring solutions to everyday problems. We are here to humanize the badge by interviewing first responders and discussing their trainings, experiences, and publications. Black and Blue airs weekly at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in.
All of a sudden, the male takes a knife and comes up and starts coming down the stairs. We all fired our weapon. I didn't know if he'd been hit. I didn't know who had been hit, what happened. Next thing I know, he's at the bottom of the stairs, and I don't see any blood. I don't see any injuries. But I can see he's got the butcher knife still clenched in his right hand. And we're telling him, drop the knife, drop the knife. And he starts to come back up with the knife. We both fired our weapons, and he was killed instantly. I mean, he had devastating wounds. His eye was gone. I mean, I knew at that point he had been hit. There was blood everywhere. And it was that moment that forever changed my life.
And that shooting was my tipping point. That's where my jar started to overflow. It was just too much. Self that I would never bring work home. I would never talk about work. And so I didn't have that healthy, established communication at home. And so when this incident happened, I didn't share anything. I didn't divulge anything. I just kept it locked inside instead of talking to my spouse at the time and letting her know what was really going on inside of me. Because, literally I went from all those years of law enforcement in the military having a feeling of just invincibility. And in a split second, that was taken away from me. And I had a constant fear of dying. And then I started having constant nightmares. This face of this man that tried to kill me, I couldn't get it out of my dreams. Literally, wow. It's like, I couldn't fall asleep. So I started drinking too much, trying to pass out. And then when I went to sleep, I was having nightmares. And it was just this vicious cycle just repeating itself. And I started isolating myself. I wasn't talking to anybody. I didn't want to go to social events. I didn't want to go to family functions. I literally just wanted to be in a dark room by myself, just hoping this was some nightmare, something that was going to go away. Well, eventually that led to my marriage just falling apart. I mean, it got to the point where then I was getting divorced, right? So, things are happening at work, things are happening at home, starting to have health issues. I mean, literally just everything is starting to fall. Absolutely. So I'm a huge proponent of post-traumatic stress injury versus post-traumatic stress disorder. And let me tell you why. Because that single word disorder has a very negative connotation to it. It makes you feel like it's permanent, like it's something you're stuck with, that you have no control over it, that there's nothing you can do, to get rid of it, right? And injury is something that can be treated, it can be healed. There's things that you can do to make it better. And here's the fact. It is a proven fact that exposure to trauma or traumatic events, especially repeated exposure, like many military members and first responders have, it causes a physical and a chemical change to the human brain. It's been proven with medical imaging, scans. It's an undisputed fact. But it's also a fact that there's a number of different things you can do. And we talk about some of these in the book to help heal the brain, to help heal that injury. So, we as first responders, we have no problem when it comes down to it saying, look, like my knee, my back, my shoulder, when it gets to the point where I can't physically do my job anymore, the pain is just so excruciating. And, we can report that, right? We can say, hey, you know what? I just can't do it anymore. I need to get help. And so they go see the doctor, they get some pain pills, maybe they do some shots, some physical therapy. Maybe they need surgery, right? But there's a game plan, things that they're going to try and do to heal that injury. Well, the same thing is true with post-traumatic stress injury. And that's why we need to change it, because that word alone, disorder, is preventing people from saying, hey, look, I need to get help. I need to get better. Because the fact is, you can heal and you can get better.